thank you, Diana Gabaldon, because very cool way to start a second book in a series of novels. Loved it. Thought that was awesome. Welcome back, everyone. Today's video is all about my Outlander read-along that I'm doing. Very exciting for me anyway. And I'm talking about starting the second book in the series, Dragonfly in Amber. So I'm going to be talking about my first impressions, some things that I've noticed so far, how the reading is going, and how much longer I have to finish. So yeah, enjoy the video. Okay, so we are on book 2, Dragonfly in Amber. This is my copy. You can see it has been well loved. I'm pretty sure that I bought it used. I can't remember. It is 947 pages, the version that I have, and I am currently on chapter 10, page 184, and I started reading the first day that the read-along started. So that was July 5th, and today is the 7th. So I'm doing pretty well in terms of reading. This week hasn't been as busy. I'm off for the summer, which is great. I've had quite a lot of appointments. I seem to have stacked them all in the first week of vacation. And my partner's also off, so we've been doing some more like family stuff and stuff like that. But yeah, the reading is going fine so far. So the first day was the 5th, and the day to finish this book is Sunday, July 25th. So I have, you know, another 2 weeks or so, maybe a little bit less. I'm going to try really hard to film more videos as I read. So this is the first one. I'm hoping to do 2 more, you know, one kind of in the middle and one at the end at least, if not one more in between, just to kind of sum up how this book went for me and what I thought. I will say that this is probably my least favorite book in the series. They're all great. This book is great. Just out of all the books that have been written, this might be my least favorite. And I'm not 100% sure why that is. This book takes place in a couple different times and places, so I guess it could be a little confusing. Definitely the first time I read this book, I thought I messed up somehow. I thought that I was reading the wrong book, because the introduction, the first part of this book takes place like 200 years after or later than this book does. So it's very strange. It's very strange. This book ends and you see that Claire is expecting. She and Jamie are planning to leave the abbey where he's been recovering and go to Rome. And their plan is to kind of try to influence the future, change the future, so that the Scottish Rebellion doesn't happen the way that it is supposed to happen or did happen in history, so that things are better for the Scottish people. This book starts in Inverness in the late 1960s. So you're almost, it's the 60s, right? Yeah, the late 1960s. So you're 200 years in the future. And the first character you talk to isn't even Claire. It's Roger Wakefield. And so Claire comes in the middle of this chapter along with her daughter, Brianna, who you then kind of think, okay, she was pregnant, Brianna, interesting. And the whole first section is all these three characters and what they know and don't know about each other. Brianna knows essentially nothing. It comes out in the story that she was raised by her mother, Claire, and her father, Frank, had kind of a charmed life living in Boston. Everything was normal. Claire, of course, is always referencing this hidden past, this trauma that happened. She's looking into some soldiers that fought in the rebellion that she was trying to prevent in the first book. And through the course of the first section, Roger starts kind of gleaning that Claire has a secret, something she doesn't want revealed to Brianna. He suspects that Frank is not Brianna's biological parent, and he's kind of keeping this back from Brianna, who he's romantically interested in, and trying to feel Claire out deciding how he feels about her. So it's just a very strong way to start a new book, a second book in a series where what you think you're getting is way historical, you know, Scottish Highlands times, clans, castles, riding on horseback everywhere, you know, no electricity. And then what you come to is not that at all. It's the 1960s and we're in a totally different place with totally different people. So I thought that was very interesting. And reading this book again, I had those same feelings of kind of confusion. Like, well, no, I want to know where are Jamie and Claire? And I see Claire somewhere totally different. And Jamie's always referenced as being gone and being dead. So yeah, really strong start to the novel. I'm now in part 2. So again, totally different place than what we thought we would be here. We are back with Jamie and Claire again in France in the past, trying to prevent this rebellion. So very strong start to the novel. I found that really, really interesting. Okay, the second thing that I wanted to talk about with this book was the character of the Comte Saint-Germain and the character of Galus that we met in this book. So in this book, I took a picture of it when I was reading that Claire is kind of snooping around Galus's workroom because she's an interesting character, and Claire, like me, likes to snoop. And she sees a book called the Grimoire of the Comte Saint-Germain, and a grimoire is like a book of witchcraft, I guess. And then in this book, we meet someone named or called the Comte Saint-Germain, and immediately he and Claire are opposite sides, butting heads. There's conflict between the two of them straight away. So I just thought that was very interesting. And the first few times, I guess, that I've read these books, I didn't necessarily pick up on that connection, probably because we see his book first and then we meet the character later. And I don't know that Claire even makes the connection. I can't remember, or haven't come to it yet. The connection between these two characters in totally different times and places. And remember, Galus in this book is supposed to be dead. So how did she get a book belonging to a character that is alive and she died earlier? How do they know each other? What's the connection there? So interesting little mystery, interesting little side note, I guess. I am enjoying reading this novel. I don't really love the France political stuff. I will say that is not necessarily my cup of tea. I love the Claire and Jamie stuff. I love, you know, the conflicts that they have and how they work it out, their relationship, all of that. I even like the Roger and Brianna stuff. I like Brianna as a character, not as much as some of the other characters, but I do like her. I like Roger's character a lot. I think he's very interesting. He's kind of not cold, but a little bit cold. Very thoughtful. So yeah, I like reading from Roger's perspective. It hasn't been very much from Brianna's perspective yet, just Roger's, which I thought was an interesting choice, not to do the child, but to do another character. And he's a historian like her father Frank was. So I think that they kind of have that shared piece. And then of course, Claire comes into it as well. So yeah, so those are my impressions of the second book in the series, Dragonfly and Amber. And it's wonderful. The back cover, I'm just reading it now, introduced 2 unforgettable characters, Claire Randall and Jamie Fraser. And see, I don't even think of Claire's last name as Randall. I think of her as Claire Beecham or Beauchamp, because that's how she introduces herself in Outlander to Jamie and the rest of the clan, because she doesn't want the name Randall to be associated with her. Follow up to Outlander, and it's for 20 years Claire Randall has kept her secrets. Interesting, very cool start to a second novel. And yeah, I really, really loved it. So I'm on page on chapter 10, 184 now. I think, you know, when I'm here or so, in the 500s or 600s, I think that I will try to film another video, hopefully a little bit more cohesive and coherent than this one. But yeah, I'm enjoying doing it, and I'm enjoying reading and having kind of the excuse to read of, oh yeah, I'm gonna film a video, so I have to keep reading. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you are also doing the Outlander read along, comment below. If you've never reread a novel, because that's not your thing, comment below too. How it's going for you. Are you on track? Are you way ahead? A couple people in the Facebook group are way ahead. They read so fast, which is good, but they're gonna be done way before, they can do it twice maybe, because they're gonna be done way before November. So yeah, if you like rereading, if you don't like rereading, if you're slow, if you're fast, let me know, because it's interesting to kind of compare. I thought I would be much faster than I was with Outlander book 1. So far, I'm pretty quick with this, but this weekend is busy. We have some projects going on at the house. We're out of town most of the weekend. There's a lot going on. So I may run into the same issues again, but hopefully not. I am going to film another video halfway through and one at the end for sure. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and let me know what you think below.